Lee Summit is your destination for big city vibes and small town charm.
Head to the downtown Lee Summit Farmers Market, where local meets fresh. Then grab a cup of coffee and discover a variety of shops and boutiques just around the corner. Continue the fun in downtown Lee Summit at a retro arcade bar. Discover your new beer at one of our 6 locally owned breweries. Cool off with some handcrafted cocktails at happy hour. End the night with live music and good company. Lee Summit, Missouri.
Hello Lee Summit, I'm Jordan. Here's your flash briefing for the week of September 2nd. City Council will meet for a regular session Tuesday night at 6 in Council Chambers in City Hall. Meetings are open to the public or watch live on the city's YouTube channel. If you can't watch, catch the recorded meeting on demand on the YouTube channel or by subscribing to the Council Debrief newsletter, which breaks down 3 to 4 key agenda items. Subscribe at cityofls.net. Celebrate the 150th anniversary of the Lee Summit Fire Department at a fun-filled open house on September 20th from 9 a.m. to noon at Fire Station Number 6, located at 101 Northeast Blackwell Road. Bring the whole family to tour the fire station and walk through an inflatable house to learn about fire safety. Don't miss this opportunity to honor their legacy and join the celebration. The city is looking for an audiovisual support specialist to join their team. This position provides advanced support and maintenance for AV and multimedia systems and assists with designing and implementing AV solutions for city facilities. If this sounds like you or someone you know, apply today at lspeople.net. Get ready to welcome autumn and support your favorite local shops at the Fall Open House in downtown Lee Summit, September 5th and 6th. Over 24 businesses are excited to unveil their brand new seasonal decor, apparel, and gifts. Learn more at downtownls.org. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
This is the best place to work.
I love working here.
I feel very blessed.
I love it here.
I look forward to coming to work every day, being a part of this team.
Like a family away from home.
Where everyone feels like everybody knows their name.
A city that supports you. We see that with our benefits.
A pension, vacation days, job security.
Being able to be heard.
We feel valued. We feel respected.
Lee Summit is a very progressive city.
It's growing, it's thriving.
We have this drive towards not just doing a job, but doing it with a spirit of excellence.
I had the opportunity to continue to grow, regardless of 30 plus years doing this kind of work.
It's more than just dollars and cents.
We're here really to give back.
Providing a service to better a community.
To go out and serve people.
To be a part of something bigger than yourself. If I would have known what I know now, years ago, I would have been here much sooner.
Lee Summit has lots of local destinations, but where do you start? Green Street, a vibrant community space in the heart of downtown, is where Lee Summit comes together. Its 3 dynamic areas have something for everyone. Green Street Market is a modern event venue and home to the downtown Lee Summit Farmers Market. Green Street Lawn is a covered performance space hosting live music, family activities, and more. Green Street Grove is a mixture of gathering spaces, an immersive playground, and bold architectural features. And all 3 areas host community events year-round. So the next time you set out to enjoy the city you love, remember, meet at Green Street.
This month's Council Member Spotlight is all about Mayor Bill Baird. Check it out.
I have always volunteered in the community and I was always really involved, but then I ran for school board. Whenever I got done with my term, I just felt like I had more to give. It's always been my goal from day one is to get everyone in the community connected and working together, and I always called it a spirit of community. Well, Mayor's 24/7 and I have a job. I've had to work really hard at compartmentalizing, is what I call it. So during this time, I'm going to do work. During this time, I'm going to be mayor, even though I can get a call at any moment about mayor stuff. And so I've had to even work that much harder at setting aside time for myself or for family. So I like to exercise, I like to work out. Hillary's my wife. She actually goes to work out with me as well. And we do like to go downtown to the shops. We make sure we maximize our time together. I mean, I've got 2 kids as well, and we spend a lot of time with them, or whatever time they will give us these days. And I have a dog. I think most people kind of know me know I have to have a dog. We have so much development going on, and we're growing fairly quickly, so we have a lot of infrastructure needs, and sometimes we have gaps in infrastructure, and we've always managed to get by, but with this kind of growth, we're really having to be creative and look at our options and just have a good plan for water, sewer, roads, and more. If we want to grow the most healthy way, we need a diverse economy. We do have a lot of retail that's opened up here, and there's been new construction for retail. We really need to focus in the future on bringing some, well-paying jobs here, good, strong employers that want to be located in this incredible community of now 101,000 people. A lot of our workforce does commute to work still, so they leave Lee Summit to go to work, and it'd be nice if we could keep some of those citizens right here in our community. The times I feel most proud are actually when I'm in the community and I see the community come together.
We have Buddy in the house. Mr. Mayor!
The tree lighting is always very fun. I always feel very proud. It's just a great warm feeling. The same thing goes for when the council will do something and we come together and make a good decision together. There's been a few of those that you go home feeling like a winner. And one of them was when we put together the downtown farmers market, when we bought the land, and it became real, all that hard work. But also the Diversity and Inclusion Commission, that was months and months of discussions and conversations that were really hard to have, and we went ahead and moved forward and as a council all together, and I was very, very proud of that. And there are a few things that the citizens have done that have really helped us tremendously. First, in the middle of a pandemic, they passed a use tax, which is a way for us to collect sales tax whenever someone purchases online. That helps shore up our revenues so that we can continue to provide as high quality services that our city provides. And it helps us take care of our employees, it helps us with our public safety and more. So I can't be more thankful to the citizens for that. Lee Summit has the opportunity to have a major impact on the economy in the Kansas City area. We already, as an economy, are rolling along with such a high median income. We have an amazing workforce here that are paying taxes, they're paying property taxes, they're paying sales taxes, they're keeping our economy rolling, and we really are getting the attention of all our neighbors. And I think that what's going to happen is you're going to see the opportunity for us to really get everybody's attention when businesses start moving here, bigger businesses and more so. You should try to find a way to give back to the community, whether it's at the city level, citizen committees, or just participating in some of our community conversations whenever we have those opportunities. It's worth coming out of your shell or taking that leap of faith and just showing up and saying, what can I do or how can I help? The more that we do this together, the more wonderful the community is.
Thanks for watching the Lee Summit Rundown. I'm Laura Ingeman. See you next time.
Call to order this meeting of the Finance and Budget Committee for Wednesday, September 3rd. Can we get a roll call, please?
Chair Shields.
Here.
Vice Chair Lovell. Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Here.
Councilmember Funk.
Here.
All right, next item is approval of the agenda. If I could get a motion, please.
Chair, I move to approve the agenda as published.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Can we get a vote, please?
Chair Shields.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
All right. Do we have any public comments today or any comments submitted in advance?
No, there are no public comments.
Okay. Then next item on our agenda is 2025-7137, approval of the August 18th, 2025 Finance and Budget Committee action letter. Is there any discussion? And if not, I would look for a motion.
Chair,
Yes?
I move for approval of the August 18th, 2025 Finance and Budget Committee action letter as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the August 18th action letter. Can we get a vote, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
Chair Shields.
Aye. All right, next item on our agenda is TMP-3402, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute the Workday Order Form number 00491342 for the labor optimization subscription for a not-to-exceed total amount of $180,090 over 9 years with $21,174 budgeted in FY26, and further authorizing the city manager to execute any subsequent documents necessary to obtain the same services for the term of the main subscription agreement, subject to fiscal year budgets for the city of Lee Summit, Missouri. Do we have anyone presenting this? Ms. Lake, would you like to walk us through it?
Sure. Donna Lake, Assistant City Manager. This is truing up. So for Workday, we added some, we approved, or council approved, adding scheduling enhancements. So airports coming online with scheduling. We're doing some modifications to the police department scheduling, and then we're doing, the Parks Department is going to come on with the scheduling component of Workday. This is really truing it up over that 9-year time frame, because that's how we stacked the Workday contract in general when we initially moved to Workday. So this is accounting for that over 9-year period. So that would be the cost, the $21,174 annually with an escalator over the 9 years.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? Hearing none, I would look for a motion.
Chair, recommend we move to full council an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute the Workday Order Form number 00491-342 for the labor optimization subscription for a not to exceed total amount of $180,090 over 9 years, with $21,174 budgeted in the FY26, and further authorizing the city manager to execute any subsequent documents necessary to obtain the same services for the term of the main subscription agreement, subject to the fiscal year budgets for the city of Lee Summit, Missouri.
I second.
And that was a motion to recommend approval.
Recommend approval. Sorry.
We have a motion, a second, to recommend TMP-3402 to council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Councilmember Funk?
Aye.
Chair Shields?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
All right. Next item on our agenda is TMP-3429, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 fully equipped dump trucks using equipment purchase contract 2023-0161 and purchase of the cab and chassis using contract number 2025-044 and authorizing the city manager to execute all related and necessary documents. Mr. Stinson? Yes.
Good afternoon, Mark Stinson, Fleet Manager. This request is for the purchase, as it says, for 3 Class 7 trucks used by Public Works operations. Majority of the upfitting of these trucks will be used for snow removal. 2 of those were budgeted in the fiscal year 26 budget through the VERT program, and the third one, the larger one, is a expansion request. So I'll take any questions?
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? And these are all items that were already part of our budget. This is just effectuating.
Correct. They were all approved in the budget process and through the VERP. The contracts were already pre-approved also.
Okay. If there's no further questions or discussion, then I would look for a motion.
Chair,
Yes.
I move to recommend for approval to the full city council TMP-3429, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 3 fully equipped dump trucks using equipment purchase contract 2023-016-1 and purchase the cab and chassis using contract number 2025-044 and authorizing the city manager to execute all related and necessary documents.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend TMP-3429 to City Council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Chair Shields?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
Councilmember Funk?
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next item is TMP-3426, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 1 JAJ 6000 WH easement machine unit from Armor Equipment through the use of approved Sourcewell contract number 101221-SCA and authorizing the city manager to execute all related necessary documents. Mr. Simpson again.
Yes. This unit is just a normal replacement. This unit's reached the end of its anticipated life and is very much ready to go. So we've, the water department designed and found the unit that they needed. The Sourcewell contract was approved, and the amount of funds was approved through the fiscal year 26 budget. So.
And I had to Google what an easement machine is, and I can't tell you that I totally understand it. So what does that do for water?
That is basically, and I may have
somebody really wanting to give us an answer on
Mr.
that.
Young help me out here.
Good afternoon, Jeremy Young, Assistant Director, Water Operations. So what an easement machine is, it allows us to get into backyards and other easement areas to do sanitary sewer cleaning. So instead of taking a big truck back there, we can take this machine through the fences and that sort of stuff, so that way we don't have to disrupt or tear up any fences on our way to do the regular maintenance on our sanitary sewer system.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for clarifying. Thanks. Do we have any other questions or discussion from the committee?
Oh, sure.
And if not, I would look for a motion.
Chair, I recommend approval to the full council TMP-3426, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one JAJ 6000 WH easement machine unit from Armor Equipment through the use of the approved Sourcewell contract number 101221-SCA and authorizing the city manager to execute all related necessary documents.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend TMP-3426 to council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
Chair Shields.
Aye. Next item on our agenda, TMP-3441, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one Envirosight RX-SATII combo CCTV System Camera Truck through the use of approved Sourcewell contract number 12721-SCA and authorizing the city manager to execute all related and necessary documents. Mr. Simpson again.
This unit also was a part of the VERP. Reached its end of its scheduled life, and the department worked to recognize this unit as being one that they needed. And again, I'll let Mr. Young.
Good afternoon again. Jeremy Young, Assistant Director, Water Operations. So what this is this is a replacement for a van that we currently have now. This would be an upgraded chassis to a four-wheel drive unit, so that way we can get to different job sites, so that way we can do our CCTV or our visual inspections of our sanitary sewers. And in doing so, we can access those job sites without having to build roads and things like that to get in there and do that. So this would allow us the opportunity to do that.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? If not, I would look for a motion.
Chair.
Yes.
I move to recommend for approval TMP-3441, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of one Envirosight RX-SATI double I combo CCTV System Camera Truck through the use of approved Sourcewell contract number 120721-SCA and authorizing the city manager to execute all the related and necessary documents.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend TMP-3441 to council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
Chair Shields.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
All right, next item on our agenda is TMP-3372, an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement to provide certain services to Sugar Creek Protection District by the city of Lee Summit, Missouri. Deputy Chief Osterman.
Committee, thank you. Deputy Chief Brian Osterman. So this is a request to approve an agreement between the city for us to provide dispatching and communication services to Sugar Creek Fire Protection District. We were approached by them some time ago about the possibility of onboarding with us and working through the process that we've similarly done in the past, applying that fee schedule to the numbers that they gave us. We're able to formalize this agreement and bring it to y'all for consideration. So this agreement, if approved, will go into effect on September 22nd with that first partial annual payment due 30 days after, and then would automatically renew January 1st until either party decides to terminate the agreement.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? Do you know about how many calls you expect to field out of that district?
Roughly the numbers they gave, so we worked that on a 3-year average, and the numbers that they provided us, it's roughly 1,270 calls a year, but that will be part of the schedule of fees as we go forward in out years, reassessing what their 3-year average is and recalculating that fee structure.
Okay, thank you. If we don't have any further questions, I would look for a motion.
Chair, I recommend approval of TMP-3372, an ordinance approving an intergovernmental agreement to provide certain services to Sugar Creek Protection District by the city of Lee Summit, Missouri.
Do I hear a second?
Sorry, my audio was off. Yes, second. I second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to move TMP-3372 to City Council with recommendation of approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Chair Shields.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez.
Aye.
Councilmember Funk.
Aye.
All right, next item on our agenda is TMP-3436, an ordinance approving an agreement between the City of Lee Summit and Emergency Management Partners, LLC, EM Partners, for the creation of the city's emergency operation plan and corresponding emergency operations guide in the amount of $115,365 and authorizing the city manager to execute any and all documents on behalf of the city for the same.
Good afternoon, Assistant Chief Ben Hicks, Chief of Emergency Management. Just real quick, I want to walk through kind of what the emergency operations plan is and its importance to the city. So initially, when we made this agreement with TM Partners, Phase 1, which was budgeted in 2025, was for the emergency operations plan itself, which has already been started. They've been out here interviewing different departments to make sure we have a good understanding of what's going on in the city. And then Phase 2 is budgeted for 2026, and that would be the EOC guidebook. The total of that will be $115,365 for both of those, combining them. And with that Phase 2, and I'll get a little bit more here, but once that's completed, we wanted to coincide with the opening of the new Emergency Operations Center, so we have some clearly defined plans for the city to work through emergencies. And then the company will come out and do a red cell, which is a tabletop exercise with all the departments with a fake emergency in the city, and make sure our documents meet our needs. Once we're good with that, the state will approve it through the Missouri State Emergency Management Agency, and then it'll come for adoption for the city to utilize. So really, the emergency operations plan and its importance is because emergencies start here, obviously at the local level, and they end here. And so in order to move up to utilizing state and then even federal resources, we need to have a very strong plan with different legalities as far as declaring emergencies and other types of things that we're doing to meet those thresholds. And so having a good, again, emergency operations plan ensures that we can act immediately in the city for any large emergency. So what is the EOP itself? The Emergency Operations Plan, it's just a playbook for how our city prepares, responds to, and recovers for different emergencies, big emergencies. And it really does a good job of defining roles and responsibilities with each department within the city. And again, they already kind of came out and interviewed each department head to kind of make sure that we're fitting the needs, specifically what each department's going to do within the city. And then it also helps us integrate regionally with things like Mid-America Regional Council and other local municipalities, state, and then federal plans, so that when we do need help, we kind of have all the boxes checked to make sure we get that state and federal reimbursement, as well as grants that require this plan. We're going to take different hazard mitigation tools and risks that we know throughout the community. So for instance, hazardous weather, hazardous materials, cyber threats, things like that are in the plan. So we have an action plan to deal with those, utilizing local knowledge. And then this is kind of a forward-facing, public-facing document the emergency operation plan is. What the guidebook does, so we discuss kind of roles and responsibilities with the plan. What the guidebook does is more of this strategy. That's the how-to manual. So the intent is that a department can come into the Emergency Operations Center, they can open up, make sure they have a clear understanding of the roles and responsibilities, and then open up the guidebook to understand, hey, we need to make sure these forms are filled out. This is where resources are in the region. This is how the EOC is going to be activated, what that communication flow looks like up and down within the city. So we have some smooth, quick communication throughout the emergency, and then any documentation, again, that's required for reimbursement and other types of purposes. Again, just giving the departments, everybody understands exactly what needs to happen. And that's going to align with SEMA. So when our EOC is talking to the state EOC and the State Joint Operations Center, we are aligned specifically through their emergency support functions, so everybody's kind of in the same table for that. And additionally, this plan will meet the Emergency Management Accreditation Program standards, so the EMAP standards. So it's going to, at a national level, it's going to be nested in with FEMA and then the state as well. So again, next steps in this is the partner is going to continue the EOP, and then we'll start utilizing the guidebook to operationalize that response and kind of meet with the utilization of the new EOC. And again, have all that done hopefully before World Cup comes in town. We have to start having, again, severe weather and stuff next summer, so on and so forth. So any questions for me?
Thank you so much. No, I really appreciate you walking through that. I know it's always been a priority for the council to be thinking ahead, to be proactive, and you know, emergency management and emergency communication is a big priority too. So I appreciate you guys working through this process and kind of updating us on where we're at with it. Do we have any specific questions from the committee?
Chair?
Yes.
More so a comment, I guess, and maybe a question. So I also appreciate, as Councilmember Shields said, you all providing the detail and kind of the background for this particular amount that you're wanting us to authorize. Now, is this just being kind of, this is a new thing, correct? Number one, that's my first question.
So we do,
secondly,
I'm sorry, go ahead. We do currently have a city EOP, and it's out there. It's
it's not as heavy into what we want to do as a city. It's just lacking a lot of stuff, and that's why after reviewing that and looking at what we want for the city, especially with the new EOC, we're trying to improve on that specific EOP that we have.
Okay, and is this kind of like a preemptor for the new JOC as we're kind of coming online with that, I guess?
Absolutely. So again, the intent is hopefully once we're moving in there as a city, all of us, everybody kind of has a clear understanding of their roles in emergency. So a hypothetical tornado comes through town, all they need to do, even if they're not, finance, for instance, is a good example. They've came in and we've walked through different steps, understanding their roles within the city, but they don't always work in that emergency field. So the intent is we have both the EOP and the guidebook where they can come into the EOC, flip open to specifically their section, their annexes, and have a clear understanding of what their roles and responsibilities are. And then, what forms they need to fill out, how are they going to get reimbursement, who they need to contact to get resources. So it's going to be super helpful for people who don't work in emergency operations quite a bit, but it's for everybody in a city that's going to be working together with the Joint Operations Center, correct?
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
That's all the questions I have.
Thank you,
Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. If there's no further questions or discussion, then I'm looking for a motion.
Chair.
Yes.
I move to recommend for approval to full City Council TMP-3436, an ordinance approving an agreement between the City of Lee Summit and Emergency Management Partners, LLC, EM Partners, for the creation of the city's emergency operation plan and corresponding emergency operations guide in the amount of $115,365, and authorizing the city manager to execute any and all documents on behalf of the city for the same.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend TMP-3436 to council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Councilmember Funk?
Aye.
Chair Shields?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
Okay. Next item on our agenda is TMP-3417, An Ordinance reviewing Amendment Number 1 to the budget for fiscal year ending June 30, 2026, as adopted by Ordinances 10132, 10133, 10136, 10137, and 10138 by amending the authorized expenditures for the city. Mr. Gentry.
Good afternoon, Chair. Thank you. Rick Gentry, Budget Manager. For us this afternoon is Budget Amendment Number 1 to our current fiscal year FY26 budget. It kind of has a couple of significant components included in this amendment. The largest being is the purchase order rollover and spending authority as we've moved from Lawson into Workday. And as we cross fiscal years, we typically have orders for vehicles and various other sort of things that we'll order them in 1 year, commit the funds, but they have not arrived yet in that fiscal year. So we move that spending authority forward into the next year as we call it our purchase order rollover. And also making the significant amount of this rollover over $103 million. The biggest part of that is construction. Our capital projects, the projects have been approved, budget spending authority has been approved prior, but to bring it forward into Workday and our new system, we're bringing that forward as well as part of this budget amendment. The other components in this is the updated pay and classification plan. The council approved the IAM agreement. So that agreement is in place and effective now. So the pay and class plan has been updated to reflect those rates for those positions in the city. There is a one change in the fire department. They wish to change one of their FTEs, a data analyst. It's a current open position. They went out to market trying to find the right person and really kind of figure out what they really need and want. And through that process, they're requesting to change that position to an applications analyst position. That position is funded fully out of the public safety sales tax. So for that funding for that position. And then the last component of this budget amendment is a transfer of $1,000 from Central Building Services to the General Fund Public Works for a sweeper brush attachment for their Bobcat here, which obviously they'll probably be using around here at the facilities as they do upkeep, and fall is coming and leaves will be falling, so hopefully it'll help with that. So with that, I'll take any questions on budget amendment number 1.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? Hearing none, I would look for a motion.
Chair, I recommend approval of TMP-3417, an ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026, as adopted by ordinances 10132, 10133, 10136, 10137, and 10138 by amending the authorized expenditures for the city.
I second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend TMP-3417 to council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Chair Shields?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
Councilmember Funk?
Aye.
All right, next item on our agenda is TMP-3418, an ordinance approving amendment number 10 to the budget for fiscal year ending June 30, 2025, as adopted by ordinances 9936, 9937, 9938, 9939, and 9940 by amending the authorized expenditures for the city. Mr. Gentry again.
Thank you, Chair. Rick Gentry, Budget Manager. So this is a budget amendment number 10 for our past fiscal year, FY25, as we're going through the audit process now, closing out things. And part of the transition to Workday, we're taking this opportunity to do some kind of cleanup of funds that haven't been used in several years. So this is, so concluded in this amendment is our annual transfer for the Violence Against Women grant. We have some general fund expenditures, which typically staff time in the police department and prosecutor's office, that we get reimbursed from that grant. So we're doing that. Transfer is included in this amendment. As we move forward in Workday, they'll actually be direct charging that, so we won't have to do this transfer again. It'll expense directly to that fund. And then we're also doing, closing out a couple of funds that have been used in several years, the former Water District 14 fund, and then a debt service fund for revenue bonds when water utilities did a refunding of revenue bonds back in 2012. So those funds will be redistributed to their construction funds, which was the original purpose for the money in those accounts. With that, I'll take any questions.
There we go. Get my microphone back on. Thank you. Yes, do we have questions from the committee?
Yes, Chair, I do. I have one quick one.
Yes, please.
So I know there's been a few ordinances that have come before us here today, finance and budget related to Workday and its implementation. I know that some departments are having a tough time transitioning. Do any of these kind of budget amendments help resolve some of those challenges? I think, for example, the fire department had some challenges.
I think the question is, do any of the modifications to Workday that we're talking about today, does any of that help with, I think, the firefighter
transition, I guess.
Transition to the new pay system?
So the amendments, these do not impact the pay system themselves. These are financial transactions, just moving money. The rollover amendment, the one that was approved prior, does help some of the budget messages that departments have been receiving of insufficient funds, because purchase orders were already rolled over because we had bills coming in for June that we did not pay, that we were paying in July and August. So this is resolving some of those issues, but does not address anything in the payroll.
And the one that we discussed earlier about scheduling, I believe that doesn't impact the fire department, if I understand correctly, that they're on a different scheduling system. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. Brianna Berichter, Director of Finance. The only one that I can think of that we have talked about this evening is that first one with the scheduling. It is not fire, it is PD, but PD has had some complications, I would say, just with our implementation around leveraging the schedule to do hours worked. And so we are going to try to tackle some of those with the scheduling piece that's supposed to go this fall. So working to improve that, but nothing else that I can think of would be towards those.
Okay. Does that answer your questions, Mayor Pro Tem? Do you have any other?
Yeah, it does. I'm hopeful that staff administration does look at every department and tries to help ease some of these transition challenges as best possible. So that's it. It's more of a statement. Thank you.
Yep.
Chair.
All right. Thank you. Do we have any other questions from the committee?
Nope.
If not, I would look for a motion, please.
Chair.
Yes.
I move to recommend for approval to full City Council TMP-3418, an ordinance approving amendment number 10 to the budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, as adopted by ordinances 9936, 9937, 9938, 9939, and 9940 by amending the authorized expenditures for the city.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to recommend TMP-3418 to council for approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Councilmember Funk?
Aye.
Chair Shields?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
All right, next item on our agenda is TMP-3415, an ordinance authorizing the execution of 2 grant agreements between the State of Missouri through its Department of Transportation, Traffic and Highway Safety Division and the City of Lee Summit for this, for the Missouri Highway Safety Program. Deputy Chief Bunker.
Good afternoon, John Bunker, Deputy Chief. These probably look familiar. Annually, we partner with the Missouri Highway Safety Group, and this is no different than years past. Hazardous moving violations are what we're looking for on our state-maintained roadways. This augments what our district officers and traffic officers do on their normal 40-hour-a-week jobs. It just allows us the ability to put more assets out there, more education, more enforcement in those high crash areas. So if there's any additional questions, I can answer, but I have the amounts that are listed in there as well, very in line with what we've had in the years past.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? We appreciate you continuing to find those funds to keep the city safe. So if there's no further discussion, I would look for a motion.
Chair.
Yes.
I recommend approval of TMP-3415, an ordinance authorizing the execution of 2 grant agreements between the State of Missouri through its Department of Transportation, Traffic and Highway Safety Division and the City of Lee Summit, Missouri Highway Safety Program.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to move TMP-3415 to council with the recommendation of approval. Can we get a vote, please?
Chair Shields?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Lopez?
Aye.
Councilmember Funk?
Aye.
Thank you. Final item on our business agenda is 2025-7145, a report on the investment portfolio for the quarter ended June 30, 2025. Ms. Brockhouse?
Just a moment, please. Not sure, Heather. Just a moment. Thank you.
Getting the tech figured out on this end.
Oh. There we go. Thank you. Susan Brockhouse, Cash Management Officer for Treasury, and I'm pleased to present a brief report on the city's investment portfolio for the quarter ended June 30, 2025. As of June 30, 2025, the total market value of the portfolio was $279,199,339. Of that, 2.1%, or just under $6 million of the portfolio, is our general obligation bond proceeds that have not yet been expended and or drawn down. 82.7% of the total portfolio was invested in U.S. Treasury securities, 7.8% in U.S. government agency securities, and 7.4% in demand deposits. The allocation is compliant with the city's investment policy for our diversification standards. Our primary objectives continue to be safety, liquidity, and yield. Taking a look at our distributions, my maturity range based on market value, and this chart excludes the MOSIP bond proceeds. If we look at this chart, 30.2% of the securities will mature in less than 1 year. We have 38.1% that will mature between 1 to 3 years, and then 31.7% that will mature in the 3 to 5 year period. The city's policy requires that our investments in repurchase agreements mature and become payable no more than 90 days from the date of purchase, and all other investments must mature within that 5 years from the date of purchase. During the quarter that ended June 30, 2025, we had a total of 6 securities that matured with a total par value of $26,922,000. The yields for those securities ranged from 2.806% to 4.92%. During that same quarter, we purchased 2 securities with a total par value of $10 million. The yields for those 2 securities ranged from 3.714% to 3.802%. we've mentioned before, but we have 8 firms that typically provide bids for each of our requests for bids, and we usually receive at least 5 and as many as 7 bids for each request. Our fiscal year-to-date mark-to-market allowance was just over $6 million, and our quarterly adjustment was $718,876.21. This entry is made in accordance with GASB, and however, I would note that our general practice is that we purchase and hold our securities to maturity. So this is really a paper entry of sorts. So, questions?
Thank you. Do we have any questions from the committee? No? Appreciate the update. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda is roundtable. Do we have any roundtable from the committee members?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem, anything?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. I would just note that our next meeting is scheduled for October 6th. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any roundtable from staff?
Just that we do have, we are working on a presentation on the grant topic that we talked about for next month, so we should have that with the law department presentation on that.
Okay, thank you.
And then I think Brianna has. Just a couple of items. September 23rd will be our plan for the tax levy public hearing. We'll get that posted. We got final numbers from the county yesterday late in the evening, so we're working to get those updated for everyone. And then we are actively working on our next planned debt issuance, along with the no tax increase bond that we've already had. So our plan is to issue $48.6 million, and so we're working through that with financial advisors and our bond counsel to get that in front of you guys, hopefully within the next month. So,
Okay. And those will both go directly to the full council?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. There's no further roundtable items, then we will adjourn at 4:35 p.m.